Welcome back, ball fans. Big revenge conference game when Tennessee plays South Carolina this week. We're going to get into the matchup.
That's right, Bob. They're coming to Neyland this week, and it's time to smack a little Beamer's butt. So let's get into this.
Wherever you listen throughout the world, it's football time in Tennessee.
All right, Bob. Simple put, what has South Carolina got to do to beat us this weekend? What can they do to beat us this weekend?
Spencer Rattler, it will be what we'll need to do it, in my opinion. And they'll have to try to play pretty good defense and try to keep our team down under 30 points, probably to win this ball game. But now, South Carolina statistically has not played very good defense.
Well, they haven't, Bob. They wasn't expected to be a good defensive team going into this year. They've not surprised anyone in that area. Now, looking at their stats, which you can give here in just a moment, it's not going to be an apple-to-apple comparison.
No.
They've played one of the tougher. They've probably played the toughest schedule in the Southeastern Conference to this point, and we obviously have not.
Right.
But give us some of those totals, Bob.
Okay. First of all, they have played Georgia, Mississippi State, and North Carolina. That's three tough teams. So, yes, their stats are skewed a little bit. But, yes, South Carolina is last in total defense, last in yards per play, giving up at 6.02 yards per play, last in pass defense, last in TFLs, and opponents' first downs. On the other side, Tennessee is defense and giving up 4.21 yards per play. Quite a bit of difference there.
Well, what's South Carolina's per play?
6.02.
Okay. Yeah, and that's what I said. That's not a good apple to apple, but it was an indication that South Carolina's defense is kind of what we thought it was going to be.
Right. Tennessee's first in the conference. South Carolina's the last, just for reference too, as well.
Yeah. South Carolina's not very good at sacking either, so really they're just not good at disruptive plays.
Yeah, they're not very disruptive. They're not really great at sacks. They're not good at TFLs. They have really struggled on most aspects of the game. They're not really a great run-stopping team. And a good example on their pass defense is Will Rogers. Will Rogers had 103 yards, 11 of 28 versus LSU. The next week he plays South Carolina and throws 487 yards, 30 of 48. Now, I know that's not really exact right there because teams scheme up differently, try to stop things.
Oh, yeah, but I'm assuming South Carolina wanted to stop the Russian attack.
They did, and they did a better job of stopping the run than what LSU did against them. So, but somebody throws 487 yards against you, you don't have a great pass defense.
No, I mean, they did have 3 sacks against Will Rogers, which is, I think, their high point for the year. They've only got, I want to say, 7 for the entire year.
Yeah, great.
Man, but they got 3 last week, so you could argue that they're getting better, but you could also argue that, he dropped back to pass at least 51 times during the game.
Yeah, so a lot of opportunities for sacks.
A lot of opportunities. I think really it boils down to how well do we protect Joe.
Mm-hmm.
We got Cooper and May, most likely it's going to be back.
Yep.
In a part-time role this week. And physically, it's not really what Cooper is going to bring to the table. It is going to be the middle part of it, getting the offensive line in the right pass protections and getting that tempo going.
Yeah, the mental part is where he will help more than anything. Hopefully, he will be able to play the majority of the game. We will see about that. We've been told that he probably will not play the entire game.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that would be huge if he does play.
It will. And honestly, it's not just protecting Joe. That running game looks to be good for us. I mean, I love our running backs.
Yeah.
We've got a great room. Dylan Sampson showed out this past week. But, I harken back to that Florida game, and, it looks like we got a great running game, but it was kind of MIA and down in the swamp.
It really was. I was very disappointed in that.
So, now we're up against another SEC level defense.
Mm-hmm.
And I prefer to think of it as an opportunity for redemption to state that that's not who we were.
Right.
But, I think we need to lean on that running game if we can.
Yeah, we need to be a balanced team, I think, to win this ball game.
Well, I'm not sure I don't know if I can go balance spot. I think this is a game we could probably really rely mostly on our running game, and then just passing off of it a little bit. Play actions, going some deep some, which I know they're going to throw the ball some. They're going to pepper it outside to the sidelines quite a few times, because that's really an extension of our running game.
Yeah.
And everything, but I think if we can get our running game going, that's telling me that our offensive line is doing its job. And I tell you what, if Tennessee's offensive line does the job, we'll score 30 to 40 points against South Carolina.
Yeah. And I think we're going to need to score 30 because South Carolina has a very good quarterback. Spencer Rattler, Tim, is.
He made me crook.
Yeah. The guy has looked pretty good this year.
He looked like a Heisman winner.
Yeah.
I hate to say it. I thought he was going to be more down than up this year, but he's been on fire and been doing it without much supporting cast help. No running game whatsoever to speak of. It's been horrible. That little running game there last year went after Southern Cal, Sean Lloyd. He's been sacked 16 times. He's run for his life more than that.
Yeah, they could have had a lot more sacks too if he wasn't very mobile. He's very mobile. It helped that.
Yeah. I would love to say let's get after him, just pour the pressure on him. But he's been very effective this year. If you rush past him on the edges, he's been coming up and taking off.
Might need to blitz him up the middle some more instead of on the outside as much.
Well, I would like to say that, but really, they've given up a lot. But their interior offensive line has not been where people's been getting pressure on.
That's true.
The tackles have been the weak spot on this offensive line. So
they have a true freshman, 6'5", 338, starting at left tackle.
Yeah,
that'll be interesting matchup there.
Yeah, they call him Big Tree. I'm not going to try to do the last name, but it's Tree something. And yeah, he's huge. He's talented. I'm sure he's going to be a great ball player eventually for the Gamecocks. But he is a freshman, and he's probably got some bad weight.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I would think so. At that,
I mean, we're trying to put some speed and go around them.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, if you get too far upfield, Rattler's going to step up and go where you were.
Yeah, his main target is Leggett. He's leading the country in yards. So that's where you'll be seeing him throw the ball to a lot.
Oh, yeah. 139 yards a game. That's massive.
That's pretty impressive. Yes, it is. As far as our injuries concerned, Tim, that'll be interesting to see who actually is out there in pregame warm-ups. It sounds like from the head coach that everybody that was banged up last week, which was quite a few people, MILTON, Wright, Keaton, McCoy, Campbell, supposedly all them guys are going to play. But now, we've mentioned this several times, we never believe Heupel when it comes to injuries. So.
No, he'll trick the defenses a lot, and he'll really try to trick people when it comes to his injury reports. Because I haven't given any weight whatsoever to their injury report for quite some time, and I don't plan on doing it anytime in the future.
Yeah, that's true. What else do you think, Tim? What do we need to do to win this ball game? How many points we need to score?
Well, I think we'll probably go on getting obviously into the 30s. That's a benchmark for Tennessee or for Heupel and winning. I think we'll get into the 40s. This South Carolina defense is it's not good.
Yeah.
And we're going to be in Neyland at night. We're going to have a dark mode going on. Crowd should be pumped. I think we're going to score. The only question is, how do we handle Rattler? Can we get to him? Can we stir up? We're having a lot of gaps in our pace defense. And if he played like he did last year, or if he's playing like he is this year, he's going to find a lot of empty spots, and he's going to hurt us some.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, and what do you do with Leggett? Do you shade someone else over with him, try to take him out and let everyone else try and get some yards on you, or do you try to get everyone else and shut them down and say one man's not going to beat us?
Yeah, he concerns me because they like to just toss it up to him, and our DBs are never turn around and look and see if it comes. So that does bother me. What's your score prediction, Tim? Do you have a score?
Yeah, I'm gonna go 43 or 32 and 35.
Okay. I'm gonna go. I was thinking 42 myself. I'm gonna go 42-24. I think our defense Rattler will give us some problems, but I just don't see them scoring more than 21, 24 points.
Well, I'm giving a 1 on a special teams thing, simply because
I could see that.
we've had special team miscues every single game this year.
Yeah, and Beamer is notorious.
That's really how they had a game like not game against us, but throughout the course of the season. Their offensive and defensive stats stunk, but they led the country in special teams, and they were winning games on special teams.
Yeah, that was their best part of their team until they played us last year.
Yeah, well, and we gave them penicillin or something and cured all their ills.
Right.
But, hey, Bob, speaking of curing ills, one thing we need to touch on is this is a big recruiting weekend for Tennessee.
Yes, it is.
You know, we've got only 2 official visitors in. We've got Daniel Hill, which we're probably running third in that behind South Carolina and Alabama. To be quite honest about it, I really thought we were out of it for a long time.
I did too.
But he keeps pushing things off, and he seems to be getting closer and closer. So Tennessee seems to be moving up a little bit, but we need to knock it out of the ballpark this weekend just to get in that top 3.
Yeah. I think that's a guy that Tennessee has really liked from the get-go.
Well, we do, but, you know, for most of this recruitment, I would put our points at about 10%, and then 45 again with Bama and Georgia. I mean, Bama, South Carolina. This is the opportunity to get it more of a 3-way race.
Yeah.
The other official visit will be Cam Michael, who we're looking at wide receiver, a great 2-way player.
Mm-hmm.
I feel we've probably been among the leaders, if not the leader, for quite some time.
I think so too. I mean, he just come back to Colorado recently, and liked the visit, but I don't think it swung their direction. Georgia's been wanting them, but I think he's wanting them more as a defensive back, where we're recruiting him more as a wide receiver. He's somebody we're really wanting. He's a big time player.
Yeah, he's a big target for us. Now, these are only 2 officials, but we do have a lot of 25s and 26 coming in.
Mm-hmm.
But we have another surprise on the 24, though. And when I say big surprise, this is a big surprise.
Yeah.
Jordan Seaton, arguably the top offensive lineman in the country, that we've been having some dialogue with, but it seems like it's been on the outside looking in.
Mm-hmm.
He canceled an official visit this weekend to Oklahoma to instead come unofficially to Tennessee, and he's already making plans for an official in Tennessee.
Yeah.
So those 2 visits back to back, or maybe not back to back weeks, but within a short time frame of each other, sounds like to me we're in the mix now.
Yeah, that is huge. That is a position we have not recruited the best at compared to a lot of other positions. It is
compared to every other position.
Yeah,
it's a great position.
It's a need
in the last 3 years under Heupel.
So his commitment, if we was to get it, would be gigantic. So we need to knock this thing out of the park. We need to look good against South Carolina. And this guy has went kind of back and forth with a lot of different people. His list seems to change one week to the next. So we need to knock this thing out of the park so we can kind of stay in that list.
Yeah, he quite honestly, even though he's unofficial, he's arguably the most important. Well, he is the most important guy we got down there.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And hopefully the crowd, for those of you who are going, be loud and stay loud.
Yeah.
Well, Bob, this is the only time of the year that we can go out in public and talk about how much we want to beat those Cocks. And, man, I hope we wore them out.
That's right.
They got to come.
They do. This is a game I've had circled for a while, and guaranteed a little win there at one point, and I'm sticking with it. So,
All right.
beat them Cocks.
Go be good.
Go Vols.